a lot of concerns that this is someone who came to this country, has been given a life in this country, but has turned on this country if it is the case that this is a terror attack. And a lot of concern that perhaps we are not carrying out the right sort of controls on the people who are allowed to come here and certainly to get British citizenship.
We face a tremendous task. There are so many individuals on a list that could be added to a list for at least a preliminary investigation, and that's in the thousands. And what we're trying to do is filter down through thousands to try and find out the few that are actively planning, the few that are connecting and making networks, the few that are determined enough and have resources or will get resources to carry out an attack. It is an unenviable job, because when they get it right, it hardly makes the news. It just talks about people arrested. When they get it wrong, it all goes wrong. Today, as in yesterday, a lot of it now is investigatory. Where did the car come from? Where did it pause? Where did it stop? How long was it in the area? Allegedly 90 minutes. Well, much longer overnight. Where was the driver looking at? Did he panic when the ambulance came up behind him and he saw flashing lights? Is that what triggered him to carry out, which was in effect, and I don't mean this for the sake of the cyclist, a very ineffective attack.
Yeah.
Because he's in a small car, he runs over some cyclists, brushing them aside, and then races towards a barrier which is rated to stop much heavier vehicles at much higher speeds, and he was never going to get anywhere. So there's all of that to try and find his motivation, to try and find how did he drive into London? Was there somebody in the passenger seat? Was there somebody with him as his if it is jihad, was there somebody there with him, encouraging him to carry out the attack?
Well, invariably, when we appear to be lone wolf attacks, and this certainly appears to be something in the sort of the Four Lions territory in terms of competence, but we invariably find out that lone wolves, we had this with the Nice attack, it was a lone wolf, hadn't been radicalised, and then we find out that actually these people often have been radicalised for months on end, many other, in contact with many others who have been radicalised. Is it just a case of just yet another one slipping through the net?